Hey guys, what's going on? On the road, I've had about a week to my absolute self. Nobody else around me. Well, DJ Tone, Mr. Anthony Ingracia came down from Tampa Bay. Me and him hung out for 2 nights of the past week. But other than that, I've had a time to get my brain right. And I believe every person in any position of, quote unquote leadership, management, anything like that, you need solitude time to really think, get your brain back on track, because you've learned enough that you know everything you have to do to move forward. And I was up in Chicago recently and talking to some business owners out in Rockford. There's a crew of girls out there that are absolutely on fire right now. Jen, Sarah, and Louisa. They got some other girls coming on too, but these girls have basically formed a little trifecta team where they're accountable to each other, they help each other out, and we got in a discussion of business, what it really takes to succeed in business. Now, I applied it to the business that we're a part of, but this can apply to any business owner out there, no matter what you do. And we're really breaking down, what are the main factors, what do you need to grow a business? And, I was just reminded of that. Seen a post on one of our team, Facebook team pages, where somebody was talking about the value of a meeting last night. They went to a meeting. It's like an info session / training for local business owners, and the value is put on by the people who show up. Not the people who don't show up. I had another conversation with a guy. He said, "Hey, I've had some business partners quit on me," and I said, "Well, they quit a long time ago. They've just been baggage for you, or somebody to learn from up until now. It's just basically they were in your life for a season." I heard John Maxwell say. But they were talking about the association and the value they get from going to a meeting like that, and that's one of the 3 things. There's 3 main things, and there's what do you want to call it? The glue in the middle that holds them all together. Without the glue in the middle, none of them really matter. And those 3 things in any business, no matter what you're a part of, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you own, 3 things are this. Number 1, you have to not only know your product, whatever product it is that you're offering, whether it's a service, whether it's an idea, a philosophy, whatever, but you also have to know what your products are. So if you're selling products, there's 2 totally different things. Your product is basically usually what a business owner's why is, why they're doing what they're doing, and you need to know both of them for 2 distinct reasons, but it's one thing really, your product and your products. It's one major category, 2 different things, because it applies to 2 different types of people. Your product applies to potential business partners, investors, anything like that. They want to know what your product is. If you wrote a business plan, a bank wanted to know what your vision statement is, what your cash flow projection looks like, what you really see, where you see your company going. That's your product. Now your products, with an S, that's what you're selling. And that could be an actual physical item. That could be something that's, you can't really touch or hold, a service or whatever. So that's one, product and products. Okay. Second one, which I believe is the most really important one outside of the glue, is exposure. You must have exposure of your business. If you started a detail shop, but you were in a backwoods somewhere and there's no signs, you had no advertising, no nothing, how would you ever expect people to know that you have a business? If you never talked to your friends and family and said, "Hey, you guys all drive cars, I got a detailed business, if you ever consider getting your car detailed, would you at least consider me first?" This goes for any business that's out there. You have to have exposure, and you have to have daily exposure, because you never know. Today I'm driving up to Fort Myers area, but I don't do that often. But today there could be somebody that put a sign up just for today that I saw, and it would direct me into the right business, which happens all the time. I stop in places all the time. When I see the signs out there. And if you don't have a sign, if you don't have some type of marketing or advertising for your business, you are failing. So that's number 2. So product and products. Number 2 is exposure. Number 3, which most people don't realize is important, is what I was talking about earlier, association. Association helps build you up. Association helps teach you different things through example. You don't go get around association so people can teach you per se. you go get around associations so you can learn from things that they've done and things they've succeeded with. It's all theory until somebody actually succeeds in doing what they're doing. So you get around the association, you find out what other people are doing to succeed in your same field of endeavor. Now, those are the three things, okay? Three things. The most important thing that holds them all together, which most of you guys probably already know this, is attitude. You not only have to have a positive mental attitude, you have to have a forward-thinking attitude, a pay-it-forward attitude, a no-matter-the-cost attitude. And here's why it's important. If you don't have a good attitude when it comes to knowing your product or products, you're not excited about it, guess what? Nobody else will either. If you're not excited about studying what your products are, guess what? You won't know how to answer the questions when you have prospective customers asking you a question. It is good for exposure. Once again, if you don't have a good attitude or forward-thinking attitude, a magnetic personality, when you are exposing your business to the world, to your potential clients, customers, investors, business partners, guess what? It's not being received right. You guys have all met people who are like Debbie Downers, who are just down about everything. I don't think anybody wants to be around them, let alone be in business with them or buy something from them. And positive mental attitude and good forward-thinking attitude is good when you get around other business owners, because they don't come to get around other business owners to be pulled down. They come around to be lifted up, to be strengthened. It's like King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. They got together to discuss all their victories, and they got together to discuss what they figured out and how they can strengthen each other. They didn't get around each other to pull each other down and be like, oh man, I failed this, blah, blah. Unless there was a positive backstory on the backside. They didn't get around each other to complain. They got around each other to build each other up. So those are the three main things that, with the glue in the middle, you absolutely have success no matter what field of business that you're in. And I'm excited about people who are not only part of the business that I'm working with, part of the business I'm working with, but also every other business out there, because we can all learn how to work together, and we all have services and products that are very interchangeable, and we can help each other out in so many different areas. So that's it. My thoughts. Heading up to Fort Myers. Gonna make it an awesome day. It is what is today? Today's a Wednesday. So move past your hump day, get on to the weekend, have some fun, enjoy your life, see you all at the top, shoulder to shoulder.